There were once passageways to the old world.
Train Dreams tells the story of a man named Robert Grainier who lives in the Pacific Northwest in the first part of the 20th century. He's a logger and itinerant laborer, and basically it tells the story of his life as he watches the world completely change around him.
Robert is kind of an everyman in the sense of what we might hope for humanity. Sensitive, honest, empathetic, and attuned to people and things in the environment around him. And so I could connect to so much of what Robert goes through, even though I look different and I live in a different part of the world.
Just for $1, see the world as only the birds do.
This was not the ending that was in the script. There were a couple more scenes behind this scene. We were editing the film and we got to this moment and this scene, and there was a very nascent version of it, and we got to it and it was just like, well, the movie's over now. It was one of those things of just listening to the film and the film wanted to be over at the end of this sequence. There's a lot of fun trickery that goes into putting that sequence together with the plane stuff. There's 3 aspects of it. There's one where we're filming the plane from the ground with a super long zoom lens, and that pilot, her name's Amelia Hilson, and so she's doing all these acrobatics in the air while we're filming from the ground. We also had cameras planted inside the plane, and then for Joel's part, and shooting Grainier inside the plane with Amelia behind him, our special effects team actually built a contraption that was
Gimbal.
Yeah, 12 feet in the air. We had a camera attached to it and we could tilt them however we want. Rotate the other way, still diving.
Hey, you'd better hold on to something.
All right.
In the edit, we really wanted to make sure that it felt like it was a sequence that's kind of building upon itself and it's not just a bunch of images. And the other thing we wanted to do was use alternate takes of scenes, show the audience some memories from Grainier's life that we didn't get throughout the film. Show also, there's a couple of these that are different than how they actually went in the film. So there's one, for example, when he does the little flower for his daughter when he's leaving. How it happens in the film and how it happens in the story is she's not paying attention to it and she leaves and he doesn't get to do it. But in his memory of it, when we see it in the plane, he's able to actually pull it off and she watches it and it's a beautiful little moment. And so sometimes in our memories, we change things to maybe make them more palatable for us.
In terms of the score, the scene leading up to it where he's finally out of the forest and in a city as the world is changing in front of his eyes, I wanted a piece of music that felt like lifting us up, lifting him up. And so literally the piano line is rising, the string lines are rising and then descending and kind of like the plane. And so it has a kind of Aryan feeling about it, which is a beautiful kind of driver of the music.
I knew that scene needed to end in a place of peace and where life just all kind of clicks in and makes sense. And that was the moment we were working towards. And then it's the final shot of the movie, what he does with his head and closes his eyes just encapsulated that in such a pure and beautiful way that then when you put everything around it, the task was just to build up to that look that he has on his face and earn that moment.
It's a really apt ending to the film because I think one of the things that always drew me to work on the film with Clint is I felt like this story of an ordinary man's life that spans so much time says so much about all of us that if we're lucky enough to have a long time on the planet, we're going to see and experience all things. And some of them are going to be good and some of them are going to be bad. And that at the end of it all, it is a worthwhile life. And I think that that's waiting for all of us.